personally, I really like this podcast, not gonna lie. I am all about gaming, and the hardest part for me about this is that I'm not always able to do it, and for personal reasons, I'm going to be out of commission for a little while. But that won't stop me from keeping myself on Direct, keeping all my gaming subscriptions on YouTube, and of course, listening to the Remember the Game podcasts, which are one of my personal fave perks about this. Anyway or either way, I just love video games, and I can't wait to bring this podcast even further than how it's already been. Thank you so much for listening. It warms my heart. What's up, everybody? Let's get started with my podcast episode, getting into the Legend of Zelda. Now, that's a tricky one for everyone. I can definitely agree. There's a lot of confusion in Legend of Zelda. And we all know that the three timelines already come together in Breath of the Wild, and it becomes one timeline again. Well, today I'm going to be explaining the best I can of those timelines before, and then we're going to be talking about what the future of Legend of Zelda has in store for us, whether it's remakes or a completely new game with Tears of the Kingdom getting released and all that stuff. So I'm really hoping that let's get down to business. Let's get down to business on my What's Up and What's Next super intro. Now, if this is your first intro, welcome. If this is your first time watching or listening, welcome aboard. I must say that that I enjoy doing these intros, but we must also take into account two things, like either announcement. I do at least three things, sometimes two or four. For starters, I do aces and jokers, where I take out two cards and where I take out two cards and I do something based off of what I get. Hold on, I need to grab a tissue. Sorry about that. I just need a quick tissue. Okay, so I do aces and jokers every time. Every time I do my What's Up in the Next intros, I also do stuff like make announcements, and if in some cases we do the thing that absolutely has nothing to do with the main subject. Well, today's main subject is Legend of Zelda, so I'm gonna go with the thing that absolutely no one is talking about first, where we talk about Disney's Wish. I really enjoyed watching Disney's Wish when it finally came onto Disney Plus, and I didn't think that Disney's centerpiece would be Wish, a wish, just wishing. You know, so Disney really went all out with the last 100th anniversary movie. It was quite something, and I can't wait to see what Disney has in store for us. Now, I'm sure a couple of you have watched Wish. I noticed at the end that Star creates little sparkle images of the past movies, starting with Snow White. I also saw a couple of ones that I've seen before. And I'm 13, so that's saying something. And and anyways, and either way, I enjoy watching. I enjoyed watching all of them. I watched Robin Hood. That was funny. That was really funny. I've also watched shows like The Aristocats and 101 Dalmatians, Oliver and Company. That was a good one. It really was. And I think I was shown Fantasia once. Is that how it said? Fantasia? Yeah, I think it said Fantasia. Uh, I and it kind of went upward in time. I mean, I also saw Elsa from Frozen. I saw Pinocchio. Uh, who else did I see? It's hard to remember now that I'm not looking. Oh, I saw Detective Mouse on the credits. That was a good one. There were actually a couple Disney princesses on there too. Though, I think I don't remember seeing Raya and the Last Dragon. I mean, it was probably there, but I probably saw it and didn't recognize it. So, I probably saw it and didn't recognize it. Either way, Raya and the Last Dragon is a pretty good movie. And also, we have... What else is there? What are some other great Disney movies that I've watched before? Well, I guess you can't argue with Luca. That was a good one. About the sea monsters. Sorry, I'm feeling a little stuffy, so... Anyway, Luca was a pretty good one. Uh, Unfortunately, I couldn't name more if there were some live-action movies in there, too. I mean, I did see one and didn't recognize it. It was hard for me to not recognize it, though. Let's see. I saw Moana and Mirabelle. Oh yeah, I think I saw Wreck-It Ralph. I'm not entirely sure, though. I mean, I'm like 95.4% sure, more or less. Okay. And I also saw... Oh, I think I've just about named everyone I can remember. Oh, I also saw Pocahontas. Yeah. I never really watched Pocahontas straight through, if I'm being honest. So, but I have seen the movie a few times. But in any ways, I do enjoy watching Disney animated movies. Yeah, I really do. They're really good. And Wish pretty much tops off the we're going full on. This is our 100th anniversary's final movie. And we're not putting it on Disney Plus until April 3rd. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. April 3rd. That's when they put Wish on. It's ridiculous. And I've been waiting a long time for a couple things to come out. Pokemon Horizons comes on Netflix and there's only 12 episodes. Why can't Game Freak and whatever the heck else owns Pokemon, why can't they just release Pokemon in seasons of big bunches like they did back then? That would do us all a big favor. That would do us all a huge favor. So I finally get Pokemon Horizons, and they only released 12 out of 42 episodes. It's really frustrating. And then there's also... And I also waited for Bluey Season 3 Part 3 to come out, and they don't even include the season finale until April 7th and April 14th. It's a little bit disappointing, but at least one of them's finally out, yeah. And I'm also waiting for Wish, and it doesn't come on till like April 3rd. And it goes full on, all out with Disney's 100th anniversary. So I look upon the stars tonight. So I make this wish in hopes just to have something more than this. I think that's kind of how the lyrics go. I'm not exactly. I'm kind of vaguely remembering. So I'm working on it, but Disney's Wish certainly is the centerpiece to Disney. That's my personal opinion. We also have we also have a couple of movies that left Disney in a huge what word do I use? In quite the animated surprise, I guess. I don't know what other word to use, but I think animated surprise is the best I can do. But still, it's a pretty good movie. I probably would passing it up in IMAX Enhanced if I knew what that was actually. But I probably wouldn't pass it up. I probably wouldn't pass up another Disney meeting, another huge Disney meeting featuring all the Disney characters featuring a bunch of Disney characters. That would be something. That would really be something. Like all the Disney characters in just one place. That would be pretty cool. All the Disney characters in just one place, and Mickey and Asha are looking at everyone playing around, having fun. And Mickey mentions to Asha that that both of them are kind of the centerpiece to Disney. Now think about it. Yeah, most of the beginning of Disney revolves around wishes. So Wish is the centerpiece to Disney. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. And I'm really hoping that what Disney has in store for us next will be just as good as Wish was. And now let's get into aces and jokers. Okay? Now I'm sure. Now if you. Now I'm going to explain the rules partly because I can't remember all of them. But anyway, and to anyone listening to this podcast for the first time, aces and jokers is fun. It's really fun. Now, aces and jokers. These cards are for podcast segments, aces and jokers. Double joker, you take two cards. You take two cards from the deck, flip them over, and see what they are. If it's double jokers, it means do something stupid. Sadly, I don't have anything stupid just yet, so luckily I haven't gotten any double jokers yet. If I get one ace and one joker, then I get to tell a joke or a few jokes. And finally, if I get double aces, it means take the jokers out and do it again. Except, take one card. Spade means shoutouts early. Heart means if you could, what would you remove and add in from a game? Diamond means play something or watch it, or change what. play/watch one, change something about it, make a sequel to it, remake it entirely, or erase it. And club means put in a segment from a past episode. And if a guest is here with me doing Aces and Jokers at the time, that means it's truth or dare. It means truth or dare. So I'm going to grab these cards. Since we don't have a guest with anyone, and since I can't do shoutouts early, let's get started. I do these at least 3 times. Sorry about that, everybody. My alarm just kind of went off, so anyway, I do these at least 3 times, and not count the ones without the jokers. So I take the 3 cards. So 6 cards. Since they're handmade, they're not entirely well drawn, but I did the best I could. Number 1. Whew, Aces and Jokers. Well, time to tell a few jokes. Ooh, I've been saving this one. Lost it. Okay, I'll just go with a classic one. Why the stormtrooper buy an iPhone? Because he couldn't find the droid he was looking for. Yeah. Okay, time to shuffle them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Don't be double jokers. Okay. Okay, Ace and Joker again. So this means I'm gonna tell 2 jokes. Why can't you see elephants hiding in trees? It's because they're really good at it. Another elephant joke. I bought my friend an elephant for his room. He said thanks. I said, don't mention it. Okay, time to do this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double aces. Joker. Spades that don't have anyone to shout out just yet. Joker. Okay then. Okay. Club. So, as it says here in the instructions, club says revisit a past segment. Well then, okay then. I guess I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll reshuffle. Yeah, I'll reshuffle. Okay. And heart. That means, if I could, what will you add in or remove from a game? Okay. Well, since we're talking Legend of Zelda, I would go with what's a pretty difficult Zelda game? I know my personal favorite is Majora's Mask, but I'm not gonna go with that. No. If I could add anything to a Zelda game, what would it be? Well, first I have to decide what Zelda game. Well, actually, since we're doing Legend of Zelda, let's jump into Super Smash Brothers, yeah? If I could remove any character from there, what would it be, and what would I add in its place? Well, if I'm being honest, I don't know which character to remove. I mean, they're all pretty good. There's one character. Pac-Man isn't that great. Hold on, let me take a look at the worst Super Smash Brothers fighters to make up my mind. Worst Super Smash Bros. Brothers characters. Let's take a look. Well, I never really thought about it, but I guess Meta Knight is a little bit hard to play. But there's also Pichu, Zero Suit Samus, Zelda, Ness, Luigi's, regular Samus, Olimar, and Elf, Sheik, and Sheik. Sheik's main issue in their route is lack of reliable kill moves. Well, I never really thought about it. But I think the worst character that there is Meta Knight. I mean, all his moves are pretty terrible. If you don't know what you're doing, you could fall off the cliff. Sure, they're powerful, but they're also uncontrollable. All of his specials and stuff. So if I could remove any of the characters, I would do Meta Knight, and I would replace him with Skull Kid. Now, we all know Skull Kid as the Majora's Mask, and Majora's Mask as the... we all know Majora's Mask and Skull Kid as the assist trophy. Well, I'm thinking Skull Kid would be more than an assist trophy. He would actually be a character fighter. He's pretty mischievous, and his final smash could be that move falling down and him winning. I mean, it makes sense, right? There's a couple of things in the game that would make a lot of sense, right? So if I could remove and add in any character from Super Smash Bros., it would be Meta Knight, and I would replace him with Skull Kid, of all the things. I have to admit that. It was pretty good. Yeah. But Meta Knight is pretty powerful. So think about how you're going to control Meta Knight, first of all, if you're going to play as him at all. Because if you don't think about it, you could die and lose pretty easily. Okay, that pretty much wraps up Aces and Jokers. So I'm going to shuffle up these cards and put them back. Okay? And when we come back, we will jump right in to Legend of Zelda. Of course, I don't exactly have Ray Wrestle as my sponsor yet. I still need to make the contract. So everybody wish me luck with my dad and the contract, and I will get right, and I shall be back, and we will talk about Legend of Zelda. Goodbye for now. I really enjoy doing this podcast, and I have a YouTube channel that got terminated, and for personal reasons, I'm not going to be able to do any gaming videos for a little while. I'm not going to be playing games for a little while, but the games that I do have on there, they'll be really useful. They'll be really useful. I mean, you've probably been playing a game you like for years and you can't get past it. Well, I'm probably the guy you're looking for to get past it. I'm not caught up. That's fine, but not only do I have a YouTube channel, I also have a Discord channel known as Mr.L's Minecraft Mix. It features more than just Minecraft. It was a work in progress at the beginning, but I can't change the name or the picture now, so that's how it goes. My thing is, Mr.L's Minecraft Mix features more than just Minecraft. It's my gaming Discord channel. I think I'll just play some music for a while. music is done playing, we shall start getting to the breakdown of the Legend of Zelda timeline. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to start with the most simple one I can think of. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. The existence of Ganondorf before he got his name. Ganondorf was known as Demise back then, but after for being on the surface, he would try to conquer of all the lands and he was the most evil, wretched creature alive until Hilda, the ancestor of Zelda, was born. Until Hilda, the ancestor of Zelda, defeated him and trapped him within the Master Sword. Obviously, Demise got out and started wreaking havoc again. By capturing Zelda and Zelda and Link had to go on a quest below to the surface of the skyward of the sky village. They had to go to the surface to rescue Princess Zelda and save her from the imprisoned, thanks to a black tornado that sucks down instead of up. And so the imprisoned and Demise were defeated, and Demise died inside the Master Sword, although the death of Demise led to the rebirth of Ganon and the generations of Ganon himself. It's a little bit confusing, but you get the idea. Hold on, I'm gonna take a bit of a look here. Not what I wanted. And, okay. Legend of Zelda timeline. Now I'm going to be looking at all the games and then I'll be marking how they go. Oh, here we go. So the first one was, now we have Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is the 2011 action-adventure game published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Wii. Sadly, there have been a lot of games through that. For starters, we have A Link to the Past, Oracle of Ages, and its counterpart, Link Between Worlds, Adventure Link, and Ocarina of Time, where the timeline splits up into 3 and gets back together in Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild. Man, that took a hard time. Anyway, Ocarina of Time is about the next generation of Link and is one of the first 3D where Link has to fight Ganondorf and rescue Zelda by traveling 7 years into the future and past to defeat Ganon and regain the tokens and gems so that he can finally bring Hyrule to peace. And there's 3 different ways that he could go. He could win, and he splits up into 2. The younger half and the older half. Now, I'm going to go to the younger path because that one is pretty easy. It's pretty easy and straightforward. And the younger one, I believe, is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, my personal favorite. Where Legend of Zelda is traveled, where this Link has been sent to the past to relive his childhood and save Hyrule from harm by not letting Ganondorf get his hands on the ocarina, therefore leading to the destruction of Hyrule in that timeline era. Meanwhile, Link is facing his own problems with the Majora's Mask, a legendary mask that happened to cause great chaos and destruction. It was so catastrophic that the ancients sealed it away, and they later disappeared, so no one truly remembered the power of the mask until Link got to it, destroyed it, and the mask salesman got his mask back with absolutely 0% power left inside it. And Skull Kid recognized Link almost right away, and then they and then they and then they lived together in Hyrule again. Or something. Or they just lived in Termina as Zoras. Anyway, Anyway, he could have won, and then he got split up as the adult version of him, where he grows up and has a life. And then comes Twilight Princess, I think. Twilight Princess is a game for the Wii. Is a game for the Wii where no, wait, no, that's the third one. Anyway, this is the second one. Anyway, he grew up, had life, and in Hyrule, and since it seems that Link disappeared into the past, he wasn't able to save everyone in the future when Ganon returned. So Ganon took over, and the gods flooded their world and had people go to the mountains to carry on the legacy. These mountains were known as the islands of the Great Sea in Hyrule of the surface. So it came down to this generation of Link, He would also Zoras grew feathers and Zoras were able to grow feathers, and they delivered mail. Kokori were the childs of the Deku Tree. Sadly, they changed into little trees with leaf faces themselves, known as Karuks. And finally, Gorons just stayed Gorons, which is really disappointing. Anyway, the gods flooded Hyrule and protected Hyrule as well. Whereas Daphne Stonehands in Hyrule sealed Ganon into the Master Sword. Ganon then escaped from the Master Sword and brought damage. Later, Link is to rescue his sister, which was taken by Ganon himself. So, thanks to a couple of pirates misleading them. The leader pirate, known as Tetra, was actually known as one of the last bloodline links of Zelda herself. So, and finally, Ganon, and in a sense, Daphnis found himself the same to Ganondorf after Link and Tetra defeated him. Unfortunately, after Link and Tetra defeated Ganondorf, Hyrule was flooded once more and was destroyed for good. They promised to find the next Hyrule. So Zelda and Link's final plea was to find the next Hyrule, which is where the next game, Phantom Hourglass, comes in. And in Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, there's this ghost ship where you need to find a piece of the Triforce or Triforce map. After finding what you need, it disappears, but not forever. Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass is the sequel to Wind Waker, where Link and the pirates are searching for the next Hyrule, but on their way to the next mainland, they find the ghost ship, and apparently it sucks Tetra in, still sensing Tetra's powers as Princess Zelda. It seems like Link is at it again, so he travels across some type of phantom world of ghosts and pirates. That's where and the Phantom Hourglass is to and so this Link has to rescue Tetra, and it feels like days, weeks, maybe even months. I personally haven't played the game, but I would like to. Anyway, after Wind Waker was Tetra was rescued, but it seemed like only 15 minutes for the pirates within their ship. After finding the next Hyrule, that's where Legend of Zelda, hold on. Legend of Zelda, what was it again? Not much. Spirit Tracks, yes. Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks is an action-adventure game for the Nintendo DS that sets Link as a complete replica incarnation Link from the one in Wind Waker. And Tetra's Descendant, which is also the next Zelda, is captured and separated from the spirit, who becomes a knight and is sent to help Link. Apparently this doesn't end well, but Link gets back Zelda's spirit, defeats the bad guy, which is probably Ganondorf. I haven't played the game, so and so on and so. And I believe that just about wraps up. I believe that just about wraps up the adult timeline. So now we're going to jump right into the Death of Link timeline, where Ganon conquered Link and Zelda. They both died, but their descendants still live. That's where Daphnis separated the three Triforce once again to keep them out of his greedy claws. And that's where the original Legend of Zelda comes into play, sorta. In Legend of Zelda, a reincarnation of Link goes on an adventure to regain the Triforce of Wisdom and save Zelda. Ganon's keeping her locked up, but after defeating Ganon and freeing Zelda, although Zelda was saved, she fell into a deep slumber. So in Legend of Zelda: The Adventure of Link, Link goes on another adventure to find the Triforce of Courage, which will allow them to give the power to make any one wish before the Triforce scatters again. Link and Daphnis make their wish is to wake up the princess herself. Is to wake up Princess Zelda herself. And she awakes, and that's where Link Between Worlds is. Yeah. And that's where A Link Between Worlds is. A Link Between Worlds, developed as a spiritual A Link to the Past. A Link Between Worlds. A Link Between Worlds, 2013, the story of A Link Between Worlds closely mirrors A Link to the Past, but takes place long afterward. In The Link Between Worlds, there's a witch named Yuga. In Legend of Zelda, there is a witch named Yuga who is to defeat Link and try to capture all the 7 sages and Zelda, bring about Ganon once more, and defeat Zelda and Link once and for all. Although, just when they think it's over, it's not over. Shortly after defeating Yuga, Ganon is summoned. Ganon merges with Yuga, and Hilda, Zelda's ancestor, frees Link from the world, and he has to find all the 7 sages for him to gain the power of the Master Sword and defeat Yuga and Ganon once and for all. Legend of Zelda Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap is the one where Link has to use the Minish Cap and portals throughout Hyrule to defeat Vatai, evil god of the wind. And so Link bravely comes upon the four swords, and he is split into 4 to defeat Vatai once and for all. Of course, not too shortly after, he awakens once more. He awakens once more to defeat Link, and Vatai is sealed in A Link to the Past once again. Although just when all things seem calm, The Legend of Zelda: Four Swords Adventure. Apparently, Ganon has risen again and plans to steal Vatai's powers by turning darkness versions of Link's by creating darker figments of Link to convince Link to open up the 4 swords so that Vatai can escape again, and Ganon and Vatai work together. Although Vatai unbeknownstly is left to die by Ganon himself, which is really disappointing. Legend of Zelda: Triforce Heroes. Taking a few places after years of Link Between Worlds, Link eventually stumbles upon the kingdom of... what was it? Okay. Gameplay. I don't want videos. Characters. I can't find anything much about it. Okay. Let's take a look. Oracle of Ages. Oracle of Ages is the one where Link has to... The Oracle of Seasons and Ages, now available. Where Link has to work with Nehru and Din to restore peace to Hyrule once more. And that's where Triforce Heroes take place. And I think this one probably... Hold on, trying to look for it. Legend of Zelda: Four Swords Adventure. Wait, I already did that one. I guess that pretty much wraps it up, except that I need to explain the Twilight Princess. The Twilight Princess, it takes not too long, takes place in the child ending of Ocarina of Time, where an incarnation of Link, where Ganondorf escapes the Dark World and kills one of the 7 sages, leaving Link to travel between the Dark World and Zone World. Thanks to the help of Midna, he's able to do that. Of course, I really want to play that game. it looks pretty cool, especially with the part where he's able to transform into a wolf in the Dark World, in the Twilight Realm. So that pretty much wraps it up, except for the last two games that brings together the Legend of Zelda once and for all. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where Calamity Ganon is the main antagonist. He is the last scourge found at Hyrule Castle, nearly killing Zelda and Link, while Link is to have the longest power nap in history. Zelda's captured by Calamity Ganon, so Link goes and travels between shrines to get the power of the Master Sword and hearts so that he can get the Master Sword, kill Ganon once and for all for flippin' good. Until Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, until Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Essentially, Tears of the Kingdom are powerful stones given from the first king of Hyrule to Rauru, the first of the last 6 sages. Takes place a few years after Breath of the Wild, offering an unusual direct sequel for a Zelda game. After so many stuff, Tears of the Kingdom is the long-awaited. Anyway, Tears of the Kingdom is the sequel to Breath of the Wild and all that stuff. Anyway, Tears of the Kingdom is where Ganon rises up one more time to fight for it, and all of a sudden, he's able to cause the Master Sword to break. So after causing the Master Sword to break, Demise awakens once more, and Hilda isn't there to stop him this time. So Link needs to step up his game and use his newfound abilities to regain the Master Sword's abilities in his own body so that he can take down Demise and Ganon. I think and Ganon, but I haven't really played the game, so I'm not sure. So he's able to take down the two fiends once and for all. Until the next Zelda game, at least. And now that pretty much wraps it up for the review. Not the video, not the episode itself. Now let's dig a little bit deep. What thing do we have here? What's the key element in Legend of Zelda? It's Link and Zelda, both of them. They are constantly reincarnating themselves along with Ganondorf. They're constantly reincarnating themselves or having their descendants take on the role. Well, let's think about it. Link and Zelda are the links in the entire Legend of Zelda timeline. So if there's going to be a game where Zelda and Link are to, I don't know, bring upon a wish that creates a new Triforce piece known as the Triforce of Time, where Link has to face his past lives as his own, his past lives and reincarnated forms of his own self to defeat Ganon once and for all. Well, maybe not once and for all. That would be a good section. I mean, there could be gameplay a little bit similar to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. That would be something, right? But we'd also need to find a couple of more side quests. There's got to be a couple of side quests, right? Right. So we know that there's a lot of links that make a huge place in history of the Legend of Zelda timeline. Well, what if the wish of the three Triforces is to bring about the last piece of the Triforce, the real last piece of the Triforce, so that Link and Zelda have to face their own past lives and incarnations to fight Ganon. to fight Ganon and or Demise or Majora's Mask, or literally any other character that could have a major or literally any other character that could have a major enemy. They could have a major antagonist to hurt, destroy, or want to kill Legend of Zelda, or want to kill Link. For instance, the Majora's Mask. The Majora's Mask still kind of freaks me. The Majora's Mask still kind of freaks me out. It really does. So I would not want to meddle with the Majora's Mask again. Heck, imagine this. Demise, with all the power of his reincarnations, the Majora's Mask, the Ghost Ship, and the Ghost Ship main antagonist, and Yuga, and any other bad guy that there is, like Vitai. Imagine that, like the ultimate Demise. And he can have some type of catchphrase like that. This is your ultimate demise. Ba-doonch. Ha. I really need to get a rim shot sound effect. So if there's supposed to be some type of reunion, if there's supposed to be some type of reunion between the bad guys, or some of them return, or somewhat, that would probably be a huge something for us to see. That would be a huge something for us to see, because there are a lot of bad guys besides Ganondorf, and I personally cannot wait to see if Nintendo has another idea, like a different bad guy besides Ganondorf and Demise, whether it has a returning bad guy that's not them, or if there's two bad guys, or if there's like two bad guys to be, that would probably set everyone off like a ticking time bomb, right? I mean, think about it. It would be really good. Now I'm going to jump into, if I could remove something and add something to the Legend of Zelda series, I guess I would remove the, I guess I would kind of just remove the history of, I don't know, actually. If I could add something in, first of all, if I could add something into Legend of Zelda, first of all, that would be good. It would be getting heart containers, not just by fighting bosses. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have done heart pieces. I'm sure a lot of people have done heart contain. I'm sure a couple of people have played the original Legend of Zelda and seen how the Legend of Zelda is able to, and have seen that the Legend of Zelda that in the Legend of Zelda, in the original first one for the NES, not Adventure of Link, the first one, like, there's heart containers for blowing up walls and burning down bushes and stuff. Yeah, well, not in this case, no. Like, like, if I could make more side quests, heart containers instead of just heart pieces, that's what I would add. And if I had to remove something, I think it would be the, I think it would be, I think it would be to, actually I can't think of anything that I would replace. I mean, there's so much good in it. I guess I would remove always needing a companion for Link sometimes, because think about it, Link has a lot of companions. In Ocarina of Time, he had the fairy called Navi, and in Majora's Mask it was Tattle. In Wind Waker, he had the just a minute. Lost it. Okay. Uh, there's a lot of Legend of Zelda. It's hard to pick what to replace. If I could choose, there's I guess thinking about it, it would be, I guess, yeah, right. We have Navi, and Tattle. In Wind Waker, he has King of the Red Lions. In Four Swords Adventure, it he has his Link companions. Link companions. That sounds like nincompoop. Yeah. Now, if I had to, there, I guess I would. Yeah, we have King of the Red Lions, Link's companions, and Navi and Tattle. And for fourth, I can't remember actually. What was the fourth one in what is a good companion to list off of there in Legend of Zelda? Well, we have there's also Ghost. There's also Ghost Zelda in Spirit Tracks, so there's a lot of companions. There's a lot of companions in Legend of Zelda, so if I could remove something, it would be a game. It would be not really needing a companion to rely on. I mean, sure they come in handy every once in a while, but I'm sure that if I could go a little while and do a level without the link companions, that would probably do me a little bit of a favor when we think about it. That's pretty much all I've got to say for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and think about what you would add and remove to Legend of Zelda franchise and how you think the game could go, whether or not. Thank you so much for watching, and cheers.